Good morning, Muscatine. My name is Autumn Schultz, and before I even get started with anything else, I have to say thank you to our sponsors, Hy-Vee, Unity Point Health and Trinity Muscatine, Muscatine Power and Water, Becky Insurance, Toyota of Muscatine, Riva Plumbing and Heating, Impact Fitness and Nutrition, Lutheran Living Senior Campus, Impact Life Blood Center, Harper Cycling and Fitness, Muscatine County Fair, and Bayer of Muscatine. There are so many fun events that are happening this weekend, so I'm only going to just name a few, and I'm going to continue throughout this week. So the first off one is the Church Basement Ladies will be the 27th production of the New Era Diner Theater. The show will be presented on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday and Saturday at 6, and then Sunday at 4 at the New Era Community Building. There will also be a dinner served with the show for each 3 of the days. It is $30 for adults, $20 for children through the age of 12. So if you'd like to go out and see that, I have to do a shout out to one of my athletes, Terry Walsh, who is going to be in this, so please go out and see her. Incredible lady, and this is going to be an amazing show. Also, Rockin' on 2nd Street is back this Saturday, and it's going to start with the Carnival Kickoff sponsored by Crossroads. This is going to be from 1 to 5. There's going to be so many children activities, bounce houses, there's a dunk take, there's silent auctions, there's going to be more prizes to give away. And then starting at 2:30, there's going to be music playing until 10 o'clock on 2nd Street. This is going to be in the parking lot across from Pearl City Chiropractic and next to Proof Social. So be sure to enjoy that, some drinks, some live music, and also activities for your children too. The full article is on Discover Muscatine for all of more information. Also talk to Megan Francis at Crossroads if you'd like to have a little more in-depth insight. Also on Saturday evening at 7 p.m. is the Muscatine Symphony Orchestra presents the Masterworks Beauty and Grace Elevated. So this is going to be a string quartet, and this is going to be on the Saturday, October 8th from 7 p.m. This is at the Wesley United Methodist Church. The tickets are $15, and if you're 18 years or under or have a college ID, it is free to attend. So be sure to get your tickets and be sure to get your spot in this for 7 p.m. to also celebrate their 20th anniversary with the Muscatine Symphony Orchestra. So like I said, there's just 3 events that I just talked about. There's even more coming up, and also, of course, Friday, we'll have a game that we will be broadcasting. You can check that out on Discover Muscatine under our events for that live invitation to be sure to check in and watch this. Speaking of one of our sponsors of Muscatine Power and Water, I have Rachel and Gage with me this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can you tell us just a little bit about what you do at Muscatine Power and Water?
Sure. Well, I am the customer service manager, and I've been with Muscatine Power and Water for 24 years. The majority of my career has all been in customer service. All but 2 years, I did a couple years in our engineering department. But in my department, I oversee the customer service staff and the help desk staff. So we are the groups that are there, answering and helping you with your technical issues, putting out the bills, answering questions on billing. We're there, from 6:30 in the morning till midnight for the help desk side, and our customer service staff is available 8 to 5.
Do you sleep?
not much. Not much.
Not when the thunderstorms roll in.
That's right. That's right.
And Gage?
Gage Huston, I'm the general manager at MPW. So I've been with MPW for 19 years, and I do a little bit of everything now, but it's really about, my job now is about supporting our team members. We have such an incredible team of staff at MPW, and it's really just about providing the opportunity for them to be successful in their position, and then telling the positive story about all the great work we do, which is part of why we're here today.
Gage, I have to ask, if there's one thing that you always look forward to going to or doing at MPW, what's that one thing that you love?
It's the team, without a doubt. I've just really enjoyed my time. I worked at a few other places during college before I came to MPW. The culture at MPW is just head and shoulders above other places that I've worked, and so I love the challenge. We're going through a challenging time in the electric industry and communications with expanding our fiber system, so there's a lot of challenges. I enjoy that as well, but we got such a great staff, and I enjoy coming in and working with them every day.
I got to meet a good majority of them. That was last week, right? Yes,
Yeah.
It was last week. And everyone is just so positive, uplifting. You see the support with each other too. It's just such a really great team. You don't really see that a lot in kind of corporate businesses. So I really enjoyed that.
I appreciate you saying that, and thanks again for joining us.
Of course.
When we bring new employees in, I get the chance to sit down and meet with them, have a lunch at about the 30-day mark or so, and I hear that same story from them over and over. They're just thrilled with the team environment. Everybody's so helpful, happy to answer questions, and I think it's that culture that I've really enjoyed over 19 years too.
You can definitely see it that day. It was so much fun. Everyone was just full of laughter and knowledge, and it was good.
Yeah, we recently even just brought on a new help desk supervisor. So we've been going through the onboarding process with him for the past few weeks. And one of the compliments that he shared with us after his first week was, just really thanking us for making him feel welcome and part of the team, because he knows we're a team that have been working together for many years, but he instantly, noticed that we just all work together, pull together, and we'll help get him on board and up to speed.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that. And so speaking of kind of showing appreciation, you have two amazing things that are happening this week.
Yeah.
I will let you take the reins and talk about it.
Yeah, well, thank you for having us to help celebrate. But this week, we join about 2,000 other communities throughout the United States that have a municipal utility, what we refer to as public power. And every October, we celebrate Public Power Week across the country. And it's really about celebrating and highlighting the benefits that community-owned utilities bring to their communities. And so along with that, every year, that also pairs with National Customer Service Week. And so for us, they just always go hand in hand. Being a part of the community and serving that community through great customer service just always partners so well. And so it's great that we have this chance to celebrate both of them every October. So some of the benefits
It's okay.
some of the benefits of a public power community, I always like to talk about, biggest thing is local control. So our focus is about the Muscatine community. Our staff, we're local, a lot of us live in Muscatine, and so we're really neighbors serving neighbors. We know that the decisions we make and the level of service we provide impacts the people we're going to run into at the grocery store. A lot of them know where we work and what we do, and so we know our decisions and how we treat them as customers. It's going to have an impact on that relationship, and I just really think that matters when it comes down to the decisions you make on a day-to-day basis. We also have a local board that makes decisions and sets direction only in the focus of what's best for Muscatine. They don't have to worry about other communities or a broader reach. They can just focus on the Muscatine community. And so I think that's really important as well. And then we've been able to celebrate low rates. So Muscatine's been really blessed to have a strong customer base, and that's allowed us to keep our rates well below state and national averages. I'll talk a little bit more about how that benefits the community, but we like to celebrate and recognize that rate impact as well every year.
Well, and you've had some amazing, just in this past year, you just had the Line 106.
Yeah.
You've had the sense of the electrical charging stations.
Right.
So you've been building more and more into Muscatine, and people see that.
Right. Yeah. One of the things that we'll be talking about here later this month too is celebrating our 100-year anniversary as an electric utility. But part of that too, in addition to recognizing that great history we have, is looking forward. The electric utility is changing significantly, and doing things like expanding our transmission system and expanding access to electric vehicles and charging stations is a big part of preparing for the next 100 years of serving Muscatine, which is really cool. So I wanted to take just a second talking about celebrating our birthday, our 100-year birthday for the electric utility. We received this totally unprompted as a surprise in the mail, and I won't say the customer's name in case they're in witness protection or anything, but they put together this birthday card and mailed it to us to say happy birthday for 100 years and best wishes, and we just thought that was so cool that a customer would take the time to put this together and mail it to us. And I think that speaks to that kind of community connection that we have as a public power utility.
Now, where is that going to go? Is that going in your office, or is there a...
Well, I think it really should be in Rachel's office, framed on the wall, because, her and her team are such a huge part of the reason our customers feel that way and have that positive impression.
Cards and handwritten notes are just so much more sentimental and more than just like a text message or an email.
I have to tell another story. I get jazzed up about this. Speaking of handwritten cards, so a member of my church stopped me at before service a few weeks ago and said, "Hey, I just had a great experience with one of your team members at the help desk. I got a new phone. I wasn't sure how to set up my MockLink email on it. So I came in, and that rep stopped took the time to walk her through the entire process, answer every question that she had. So not only did she write a personal handwritten thank you to the utility, she wrote a handwritten card to that employee with a $20 gift card in it and asked me to deliver it to them. And I just thought that was really cool.
Oh, that's so nice.
And a lot of that has to do with the culture that Rachel sets with her team and the customer service side.
You said 24 years, correct?
24 years, yes.
Wow.
Yep. Had a long history with them and a great crew to work with. I've had great mentors throughout my career, though, that have helped instill that culture and helped drive where we are. But yeah, I've got an amazing team that supports me, that work together well and support our community.
Speaking of the team, on our second slide, this is a picture we took from a Customer Appreciation Day last year, and this isn't the entire team, but it's a good chunk of employees at MPW. And so you see a lot of them out in the field. You see our big, beautiful white utility trucks out in the field serving customers. If you come into the lobby or the drive-thru, you get to interact with our customer service team. But there are dozens and dozens of employees that are working behind the scenes, generating power, delivering power, water production, water distribution, head-end systems for our communication network, ensuring our systems are secure, and then all the administrative support that goes along with that, functioning as the three utilities. So we just have a really great team, and I think there's a lot of folks that are, the community wouldn't necessarily see or recognize all that we do, and that was part of why we do those Customer Appreciation Days too, is to get a sneak peek behind the scenes, a little hands-on experience of some of the stuff that we do, and really recognize all those folks that work behind the scenes every day.
A bunch of kids had so much fun at that Appreciation Day, and I'm not necessarily a heights person, but I was watching kids actually climb up the poles.
One of the poles, yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, knowing me, my foot would just slip, and there I go. But those kids were really brave.
Yep, and we'll do it safely, don't worry.
Yes,
if your
it is
kids
very
want to
safe.
try it out, yeah. And the bucket truck rides.
I saw the
truck.
bucket trucks.
Yeah.
That was quite a height there too.
Yeah.
That was kind of neat watching.
Yeah,
We
it's a
just
neat
participated
experience.
in the community day that was held over at Discover in the park there, and had the bucket truck, and that line was nonstop until the very end. We were still trying to sneak a few kids in, even though the event was over, to make sure they got the opportunity to go up.
And how high do they go up?
They could
can they go up?
They could go upwards of 100 feet or so at the highest. Those are probably maybe 60-foot trucks, if I had to guess. But what we're really trying to do is recruit the future line workers.
Yeah.
Get those kids in the bucket trucks and comfortable, so they'll come join us someday.
Start them young.
That's right.
Get them prepared.
Yeah.
So let's talk about more into the economy portion now, going into
Yeah.
like the numbers. How does that go through this?
Yeah, so this next slide we have here, these are some of the metrics that we update every year when we look at the financial impact of having a public power community. And you can see the big water drop there, the 3.6 million. That's the savings to our customers that they see every day on their bill through lower rates. So I mentioned that we have rates below state and national averages. So we try to estimate and equate that to how much does that save our customers on an annual basis. And last year that saved about $3.6 million for our customers, so pretty significant. And then the other side of the graphic there are the other savings that we provide through direct services. So we provide a lot of our utility services to city facilities free of charge. So those are costs that otherwise would come through taxes. So by providing those services free, that keeps taxes lower for the community as well. We also do traffic control, the fire protection, so all the hydrants throughout the community we maintain, and so that's a free service to the community as well. And then also, because of the level of fire protection systems that we have in Muscatine, we actually have a higher ISO rating from insurance, and so most of our property insurance rates in Muscatine are lower because of the protection that we have. So that's another kind of behind the scenes benefit to the community. So when you add those additional things up, it's about another $1.9 million. I think the other piece of that is energy services, which I wanted to touch on too. So we have a great energy services advisor, Paul Burbach, that goes out and works with customers of all sizes, whether it's a widow in a small one-bedroom apartment or a large industrial customer that has a 24/7 operation. Paul can go in, work with them, identify ways to use energy more efficiently, reduce their cost, as well as we have rebates and incentives to reduce usage. And so that's another great benefit to the community.
Last month we had Ryan come on and he was talking about the fire hydrants, and I never knew how much actual work and behind the scenes and what each color coding means.
Right.
So I love the fact that you come in and you say, hey, we're not just flushing out the hydrants, this is what we're doing and this is how we do it. So
yeah.
And as you can see, the numbers kind of help with that and help reduce and save for Muscatine.
Absolutely.
And so now let's talk about into like exactly what public power is and what does that all entail?
Yeah, so I touched on a little bit earlier, but I think one of the biggest benefits is that local control. So the local board, the local staff making the decisions for the Muscatine community. But there are also other benefits from economic development standpoint. So a lot of our employees work and live in this community, and they are going to support grocery stores or restaurants. They're spending money in this community. And then I just participated in a professional developers conference that we had in Muscatine last week. And we talked about economic development for a community and how important the partnerships and relationships are when you're trying to build economic development activity in the community. And I think public power just fits so well with that because we're plugged into the community. We know the key community leaders. Our priorities are aligned when we're looking at what's best for the community. And so I think that's another great benefit. And another is accountability and transparency. So because we have a local board, the decisions on our rates and key customer service rules, those are all made, those decisions are made at public meetings with board members that you know in the community. And you can reach out to those board members, you can reach out to us as staff. We've got an incredible customer service team that can answer questions, explain things. The access that you get with the public power utility, I think, is really great.
And I like the fact too that you keep using the word public in community. It's people that they're not bringing people from maybe Des Moines into here to make decisions with Muscatine, because we're not Des Moines. We're not 5, 6 different towns combined into one. We are one community, one county. That we need to hear it from people who live here. And being able to make sure that these are realistic numbers that are sustainable for everyone.
And I say Muscatine community because it does cover a broader range than just the city. We serve Fruitland, the community of Fruitland as well, and are great customers, great part of the broader Muscatine community. But one of the things they're going to mention, talk about outside interest. Another thing I hear very often from our customers is the quality service they get from our help desk. So when they call middle of the night or just have a question on their bill or their cable, TV service, they call and get answers, and our staff are very patient with them. They're happy to walk through any question they have and just work to a resolution. And I think that matters, that team is right here in Muscatine. It's on Cedar Street. That's where our help desk center is. So when you're calling for assistance, you're talking to somebody right here in the community. And again, I just think that makes a difference in a positive way.
Oh yeah, I think we've called at 2 in the morning, or maybe it was 1, I don't know, but our power was randomly out. So we called and someone answered right away. And they're like, oh, here, we'll get you all set up, and we're able to help us get it back on with no problem. And they stayed on the phone with us until that was actually completed.
Oh, very cool.
So I thought that was very nice that it wasn't here's a teleprompter, pick this, leave a message, or we'll forward you. It was someone right away picked up the phone. And
that would most likely be our system operations team that is staffed 24/7, 365. They're monitoring the system. A lot of times we can even identify some of those outages before they happen with some of the tools we have now. But yeah, in the event you have something go wrong, somebody's there to answer the phone and get a crew sent out.
It was very helpful. Now, Rachel, you have an incredible team. You want to talk a little bit about the kind of the behind the scenes of maybe what we don't see in the customer service side?
Yeah, you bet. So Customer Service Week is an opportunity for us to celebrate the importance of customer service and the people who serve and support the customers on a daily basis. At Power and Water, we take great pride in providing outstanding service. It's part of our culture. It's a way of life for us. So the team here that you'll see on a couple of the slides, we have one that shows our customer service team and the other that shows our help desk team. These are the people that are answering the phone. This was my desire to kind of have a group picture that we could share that puts a face to that team that's supporting you. We used these photos in our Customer Appreciation Day, and I was just sharing a story as we sat down that, you know, by having these photos up, we actually had a customer come up to us that day that recognized one of our reps and was like, oh, so that's the lady that helped me. And I was just so tickled that she was able to put a face to that person that offers her support. Our help desk team, you know, they are the ones that are there till midnight. They're helping you through those communication issues, but they are also still taking some billing calls. Even though the billing side of the office is closed at that time, they'll help with what they can. And again, you know, they're from 6 a.m. till midnight every day, 365 days of the year.
Wow. And your customer service team, you have the perfect quote, we're people just like you.
Yeah.
Yep, that was, you know, a video we did probably last year at this point, where we put a video together just really showing the community that we are just like you. We are your neighbors, we're your relatives, we're your friends. We are also, you know, with, like Gage mentioned, most of us are part of this community. So we're also our own customers. So we experience, you know, the same service. We have the same expectation of high quality service from MPW because we are our own customers also. So just to hit, you know, a little bit on the help desk team, you know, well, both customer service and the help desk team members, they're local. So, you know, we care for our customers like they are part of our family. Beyond the skills and personalities that each person brings, you know, we appreciate the fact that we work for a company whose core value is great customer service. And we enjoy having this week to celebrate, to really focus on it this week, but we keep that at the forefront all the time. Yeah. It's always part of our conversations and direction.
You're at 100%. You're going maybe 110% for these next couple of weeks. And then you're going to stay to 110%, especially during the holidays.
You're right. Well, and I think what Rachel's saying is 100% true. Our value of customer service aligns well with the personal values of the members of that team, and you can see it in the leadership with Rachel and our supervisors, all the way down to the reps that are working with customers. They really care. You know, they're genuine in this. They want to serve our customers well. They want to work with them and help them out, especially when we have a customer going through a difficult time. We have resources to help them work through that, and we always encourage them, come and talk to us. You know, we'll help you kind of put a plan together to work through this. And it's because the team cares. They really care about those customers, and they want to get them through that.
Yeah.
And so can you tell me a little bit, so I'm seeing a couple kind of screens here, and I'm seeing a lot about like how-tos and designations and kind of easy resources that they can grab.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got a couple slides here where we're showing Rosa and Ariana in two of our how-to crew videos. But our team is continuously looking for ways to assist customers. So we've started to put together a library of these how-to crew videos to help educate customers on some of the issues or a variety of topics that they might have questions on. The tutorials can be accessed on our website at mpw.org. They're also running on, on our TV service. And again, we actually had another scenario with a phone call where a customer called in for some assistance from the help desk. And in our introduction, when we take a call, we always share our name with our customer, and so they know who they're talking to. And Rosa here, the customer got Rosa on the call and was like, "Oh, Rosa from TV," and was so excited to be talking to her, like celebrity status. Yeah. So that was really fun for us to see, but for Rosa too.
I love that. And so what are some of the how-to videos if you have a couple examples?
We have different things on how to rent a video on demand. We have how to understand your bill. We have one on the importance of why you have to provide verification when you call in on your account, to just really try to express why we'll ask for an account number, the last four of your social security number, or if you have phone service with us, we will ask for a CPNI password. That's a requirement that we have to have on the account. So it's just our extra way of making sure that we are protecting our customer. And I know a lot of people joke and say, no, if anybody wants to call and pay my bill, you let them do that. And we understand that, and we certainly don't mean for having to verify your account to be a hassle, but it's just a critical part to make sure that we're talking to the right people that are authorized to have access to the account and protecting their information, the customer information.
Yeah, and we've seen examples of, I haven't seen somebody offer to come pay another customer's bill, but I have seen other, more nefarious things where people have requested service to be disconnected on an account because they're trying to get back at somebody. And so that's why things like verifying the account information is so important.
Wow.
And we need to make sure we're talking to the right customer that has the authority to make those decisions so that those things don't happen.
That's a pretty interesting scenario.
It is. And, in those situations, it can get kind of hairy of, okay, do we trust this request? Do we understand, is this about customer? And that's why having those protocols in place is so important so that we don't have a situation that goes awry because somebody's being, dishonest.
You were talking about the one on demand. That is one video I will not let my 2-year-old watch. I will gladly skip that video. But I do like the fact of just knowing, my husband takes care of a lot of that. And so I like the fact that now I can go on and see what I need to have in preparing in case maybe he's not available and I'm the one that has to make that phone call. So I like the how-to videos because on the phone I'd be scrambling of where to find the information.
Right. Keep in mind, you can put a parental code on the video on demand. So
yeah, right.
There is plenty of parental codes on every device now in our house. Yeah. The new thing is YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. The last thing I might say about the customer service and help desk team is just, to really recognize their efforts. They are the first to respond, a part of some of the first to respond. When we do have outages, whether it's electrical, communications, services, if there's an outage, it's always a neat experience for outsiders to see how much our teams, and this speaks for the whole utility, they drop everything. If it's, midnight and we're getting a call that there's an outage, our crews are getting out of bed, they're throwing on clothes, they're getting into work, they're logging in, they're taking those phone calls, they're there to support our customers. And I know that that's kind of one thing I think every employee at Power and Water really highlights is to really see how we all pull together in those instances, because ultimately, we can recognize our customer service and our help desk team for Customer Service Week, but all of MPW is providing customer service. All employees at MPW are part of that team.
They're not just staying home and saying, oh, the night crew can take over. Like, they're willing to come in and pitch in and help because it's the entire, like you said, the entire Muscatine community then.
I was in a training one time out at the college. We were doing a leadership training for Power and Water, and a vehicle had hit a pole or a transformer and caused an outage. Well, the college went out of power. So the room got dark, and you're full of, the room was full of all MPW employees. So, the instructor's up there instructing, and all of a sudden his laptop's flipping open, everybody jumping in. And she just turned around and looked at the room, and she goes, that was the neatest thing I've ever experienced. She goes, when you guys, she's worked with our company for several years, but she's like, I always hear how great MPW team is. And when she saw that every employee in that room just flipped the switch and they were in outage mode and ready to go, it was a really neat experience for her to see. And I found that interesting to have an outsider's view of that.
It gives me goosebumps still, even hearing that story, because it really is so cool how the team comes together. And to Rachel's point, so our customers will see the field crews go out and respond to those situations, but there's a whole other team back at the office, managing the calls, looking at the outage maps, identifying priorities, communicating with customers, confirmation, hey, is your power back on? That extra step, customer service step to say, hey, we just want to make sure, you're good to go. There's a whole nother behind the scenes team that's working when that stuff happens.
And I know Ryan has come on and talked about what you guys do behind the scenes and seeing all the maps and being on MPW, seeing all the updates and where to go.
Right.
So I love the fact that you are allowing education of saying, hey, here's what we are doing behind the scenes, here's what you can see as like a daily update, and this is how we communicate with you. And I just really appreciate that too.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, we were talking about, and I think we were talking about cookies earlier. Am I wrong or am I right?
Yes, so all week this week, please stop out to our lobby on Cedar Street. We will have treats and giveaways while supplies last, so stop in. We've got cookies. I think we might have where you can choose to get one of our cups with some of the water tower designs or an actual tote bag with those same designs on there. So stop out and visit us this week.
I got a stress ball from you. And oh my gosh, that thing has been amazing. I had Scott didn't use his, and one of my athletes she's just like talking about she just needs something.
Yeah.
I had it in my backpack and I said, here you go.
Yeah.
And it works. It's great. I love it.
They're cool. And so far, we've gotten through like 3 days without our dog chewing it up. So I consider that a win.
That is definitely a win.
The other thing we do have going on too is a coloring contest. So
Yeah.
kids, adults, all ages, if you want to participate in the coloring contest, we have forms at the office. We can email you a form if you email into us. And I believe that those are also accessible on our website too. So.
Yes, and I know that we also had them, and Jess, correct me if I'm wrong, we had them actually a couple weeks ago in our newspaper, correct?
In the Discover Muscatine.
Yeah, we had it in the
one out,
Discover
yeah.
Muscatine one. My kid has it. I don't know how pretty it's going to be with a 2-year-old, but we will see what we can do.
Yeah.
And how, is there a certain time that they need to send those in by?
We'd love to collect them this week, but we've got them on display in our lobby entrance. We have a lot of window space on that entrance area. So I imagine we'll keep them up there for a few weeks. So if there's any late entries that come in, we'll be happy to display them.
Awesome. And of course, one of the things that I like to ask is, we were talking about a lot of being on the phone with customer help. Can people come in during office hours and ask for any type of help or assistance, or do they need to have an appointment? Nope,
absolutely. Our lobby is open 8 to 4. So you can come in for any type of need, whether it's the help desk, and like you were saying, you had, that friend of yours that needed some assistance with setting up on their phone. Bring your device in. The help desk will come up in the lobby and help a customer that has that need. But our customer service lobby's open 8 to 4. Our drive-through window is open until 5, along with phones are also answered 8 to 5 on the customer service side.
Perfect. And customer service side is on Cedar, not on...
Correct.
Hauser,
Right.
Hauser.
Yep.
I always forget which road it is. I always forget Hauser. It's Cedar and Hauser, so it's the Cedar entrance for customers.
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
Perfect. Well, I think this is fun. I love the fact that you're celebrating 2 things in 1 week and getting the community involved for it, because who doesn't love treats, of course, but also comes in and gives you a chance to say thank you, and vice versa, for them to say thank you for all the hard work and service that you all do.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having us. It's just always a pleasure to be on the show and tell the story of MPW and the great team that we have, and just appreciate the opportunity.
Well, thank you. And before we wrap up, it's October, so do you want to talk?
Right, yeah,
real
so in celebration recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, every year we offer pink hard hats to employees that want to show their support for breast cancer awareness. And so this is mine, actually. I've got one. So if you see those pink hard hats, we only wear them in October, and it's just in support of breast cancer awareness, and I think it's a really neat. Neat thing.
It is now time to paint the town pink this month. So.
And I like to say we've got a lot of kind of rough and tumble, field crews. I say it takes a real man to wear pink, and so hopefully you'll see a lot of those pink hard hats out there.
Would you like to display it?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Model it for us.
I don't think you'd want me actually out there working on your line. That might go bad, but yeah, hopefully you'll see some of these out there in the field.
It looks great. It does pop. And it does match.
Yeah, right, look at that.
Got a little lavender and some pink.
Right. Well,
Looks
it's all
good.
about pulling everything together.
It is.
Yeah.
It looks great on you. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us about all of this fun information. And then, of course, come out and to Cedar Street from technically yesterday through the 7th.
Right, yep, through Friday.
Yep.
Perfect. So come over and say hello and say thank you, and of course enjoy treats, because who doesn't love treats? And we'll have to figure out who the cookies are from, of course. Next time, just let me know and I'll give a shout out for them. And it's October, so be ready to paint the town pink, and be ready for more information as we are talking about more events coming up. But until then, stay happy and stay healthy. I will see you later, Muscatine.